live right now. My main man, Adrian Hernandez.
Yeah, Chadi. What's up? What's up?
What's up, my main man? I'm excited to have you on here. Last time we had you on the show, you were just a young kid. You're still a young kid. And,
Yes.
um, you've done a lot in the last, 4, 5, 6 years since we've had you on the show. And I've been wanting to bring you on for a while. And I think right now is the perfect timing and the perfect opportunity. So, Adrian, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience right now and tell the world who you are and why they should listen to you. And I'll begin to drill you with a lot of questions today.
Let's do it. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Chadi Bazzi. I appreciate everything that you do. Right before we got on, we'll talk about it, but Chadi is one of those. He's a believer. He believes in you more than you believe in yourself. And there was a moment in my life that you shared that with me. So I just want to thank you, and I'm excited to be back. So, anyways, I'm Adrian Hernandez. I am originally from the Rancho Cucamonga area. In 2015, I moved my business. 2016, I moved my business to Orange County, and I've been working on transitioning from agent, not transitioning, but going from agent to learning how to be an investor. And Chadi asked why you should follow me, and I don't want to say you should follow me if you think my stuff is relevant and it connects.
No, I people should follow you.
Yeah. It connects with what you're doing. Come on. But I think the biggest thing is that, I'm really in the space to just keep it real with you guys. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm on the phones every single day. I'm out there. I'm meeting people. I'm learning how to transition through what we're going through. So if I can be of some help, great. But if anything, I think we're all helping each other right now, right?
That's the whole entire thing is, we're all in this game together. And at the end of the day, we all want to win. And the only way to win is to win together, because you can only go so far on your own. Just like, your journey as a real estate professional, you started off as a real estate, assistant, I believe, right? You were an assistant,
I was an assistant.
For a broker. And
right.
Then you just saw what people are doing in real estate, and you made the transition into real estate. And like they say, this history. So you've been in the business now for what, 6 years, 6, 7 years, 7 years, something like that?
I've actually been licensed for 8 years now.
Okay, so you've been licensed for 8 years.
For 8 years.
In real estate. Okay.
I was 21, so 29 now.
Okay, so you're 29 now. Okay. I wrote down a bunch of notes. So, I actually, I want to begin by saying, if you haven't already watched the first interview I did with Adrian 6 years ago, you definitely want to go back to tlashow.com, or you put my name and his name together and the video will show up, or just go to chadibazzi.com. We'll put it in the show notes. The reason being is you want to see some of the things that we talked about back then. And we actually had a vision in place, and we talked about projections of, where Adrian would be right around this time in his life and his career. And you'd be able to put the two together of whether, he met, the goals and the vision and everything that he talked about. Because back then, one of the things that I said to him on the video was that, you're declaring this publicly. And when you declare something publicly, the whole entire, public world is going to hold you accountable to show up as that you say you are going to become. And if you go back and watch the video, you'd be able to put 2 and 2 together and see exactly what that transition, has been like. Adrian, before we go back into history and all that stuff, I just want to talk a little bit about current times right now.
Yeah.
You never went through the first shift in real estate. So this is the first shift for you. And I want to begin with the question of all right, so we're going into this, whatever that's going to look like. There's too many predictions. People saying it's going to go this way and that way. I'm not buying into anything. I'm just keeping my focus on my business plan and helping out as many people as I possibly can. And I know there's a lot of people that are crippled with fear. I'm just curious, do you have any fear whatsoever about market tanking, buyers pulling out, sellers pulling out, anything at all?
Absolutely not. And what I would say is, because what I've observed from the 2008 crash, my parents were brokers, my whole family is in the industry. So I was able to see what worked, what didn't work, and what needs to pivot. So I want to say, if anything, Chadi, I'm just aligning myself with guys like you, guys like Ty, Joe D, Alex Layer, Quentin, people who've been in this industry that have gone through these ups and downs. And I'm collaborating with them and hearing their advice. I'm not trying to figure this all out on my own. You know, they say that I know mind is that ego mind, right? And when you get the I know mind, that's when you're in trouble. So I don't know anything. I'm being very coachable, but this is what I'm doing. I'm not being fearful, and I'm being certain in a time of uncertainty. And I'm sharing that with my clients, and I'm sharing that to the people that I'm speaking with. That's the biggest adjustment. But I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to stay on the phones. We just stay consistently prospecting. Something's going to happen. And that's my mindset right now.
Right. Okay. So, you know, there are a lot that are feeling uncertainty a lot. And it sounds like to me is that, you know, one of the things that you did is you removed the equation of like, I know this, or basically you removed any doubt, and you said, these guys, they've been through this. They know to get through this. I better shut up and listen to them and do what they tell me to do.
Just stay coachable. Stay coachable. That's biggest thing that, you know, I learned early on, and it's consistently beat into my mind, is stay coachable. From every coach you know, when you and I coached, that was your biggest thing, right? Stay coachable. I went with Tony Robbins, stay coachable. So that's the theme, is consistently learning and not trying to figure this out on my own, not buying into it. One thing I have done is I shut down Facebook. I shut down the news. I'm not listening to what's going on. And I'm just being very selective with what I buy into. We're going to hear it. Okay. It's out there, but don't buy into it. So I don't buy into it, and I'm buying into what is productive, what's going to move the needle forward either today, or at least build some relationships to move the needle forward in the future.
Right. One of the things that you said is, you said, you know, I got a prospect every single day. And okay. So I got a question for you. Are you finding that you're calling right now are receptive to even receiving a call from you?
Oh yeah, I'm making more contacts than ever. People want to talk. They're at home. They're lonely. They can't leave. They want to talk to somebody. Cool, I'll talk to you. Let's talk about the market. Did you know 120 homes came onto the market in South County in the last 3 weeks, 7 days, right? Just, they want to know. And if you guys, if we can be the people that are giving value, if we can share with them, hey, look whether if you're buying or selling, X amount of properties came onto the market, X amount are in backup, X amount have sold. It's just going to give them some good information to maybe spark some certainty in them. Maybe realize, okay, not everything is shut down. There are things that are moving. It's being that voice of value when everybody else is sleeping, right? What comes to my mind.
So basically people have questions and you have the answers, and you're just calling and just offering support and having conversations with people and giving them the answers. Some people want to do something. Some people don't want to do something. Are you guys property right now? Are you guys still showing property? Are you guys, opening up escrows? I mean, obviously it's slowed down for every single person, but I just want to know for you guys, is you guys still writing up contracts?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so we're out of state also. All of my Ohio deals, they're moving. I just got off the phone with Nick, and Nick's like, dude, this is closing. That one in escrow. This is closing. So out of state is doing great. In state, I'm noticing there's a little bit more fear, but we're still, every single one of our flips sold. We will close 2 escrows this week. We opened an escrow last week. So things are still moving, but the thing is finding those motivated people that have to do something.
Right. How many contacts are you making every single day?
No less than 50. So right now, today I'm at 25. It's 2. I'll get back on the phone when we're finished for the next 2 or 3 hours. I'll finish 50. 50 is my goal period every single day.
And you're hitting your 50 every single day, no matter what?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I have
to.
It's a no matter what.
Okay. So I like that you said it's a no matter what. Okay. Because here's what I noticed. Okay. Because, I've been telling, my clients and every single person, look, this is the time that you need to, double up, double down, do more. In my mind, the biggest reason why you want to do more right now is because everyone literally just went back to sleep right now. People that used to call are not calling right now. So If you're in a marketplace where an expired would get, 15, 20 calls every single day, they're probably getting 3, 4, 5 calls a day. So all of a sudden you have way less competition. And I get that some people want to hold off, and that may be the right thing for them to do, but generate that person as a lead that you could nurture and build a relationship with. So when they're ready to do something, they belong to you and no one else.
Yep. And don't make it all about the sale. One thing I'm doing, if I am talking to a lead, I'm asking, how are you guys? How's the family? Are you healthy? Can we Do you need toilet paper? Do you need paper towels? Can we send you anything? We're being of value, right? My buddy Danny Navarro sent me a script. It's like, hey, we invested in a high-powered drone, and we're actually delivering toilet paper, right? If you need anything, let me know. I'll send the drone. It breaks the ice, but it lets them know that we care. It lets them know that we're coming from a place of not just understanding, but of compassion. Yeah, contribution, but compassion in a time of fear. And I think when we can do that, now we are no longer salespeople. Now we have created a human experience with them, a human connection with them that will pay off in the long run.
100%. Awesome. All right. So 50 contacts every single day, no matter what, no ands, no ifs, no buts. Now, I know back of the mind of specific individuals because everybody's working out of the house right now. It's easy for them to walk over to the fridge and then, the television's on, the family member is there, and it pulls them away from getting back on the phones, etc. What are you doing that's kind of like forcing you to stay on the phones and do your job every single day?
Absolutely.
Did you do something?
So I was aware of that day one, I slept. Full trend. Day one, day two of this whole quarantine thing, I was sleeping, and then I was taking a walk midday, and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? You know better. So I just want to say that because we're all human, and if there's a better time to get started, it's now. So what I'm doing, Chadi, is I created a mastermind. I don't say mastermind, but it's a accountability group. There was 21 people on today. Everybody gets on at 8:30. We role play from 8:30 to 9. From 9, we say some affirmations, and then from 9 to 12 o'clock, we all prospect together. So there's 21 of us looking at each other on the screen, and we know when someone leaves or someone doesn't leave, and then we share our wins at the end, which makes it a community. So now I got 20 people showing up at 9, I have to be on. So my morning routine has to be in place. I got to get a workout in. I have to get my affirmations in, right? I have to get my journaling in order for me to show up to that call the way that I need to show up. And I'm noticing that's showing up on my calls. My calls are stronger. I'm making more connections. I'm diving deeper.
So accountability is something that you set up because the first couple of days you were just like everybody else. You were like not on point the way you usually are. Okay. Yeah. And then accountability pulled you back in. There's 20 other people showing up with you every single day. It leaves you no option but to show up, do your job. Everybody's doing your job. And Adrian, here's what I'm going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're a leader, so I trust anything and everything that comes out of your mouth, is that I think right now, more than ever, it's all about community.
100%. 100%. I was commenting that on my photo today. It's people need people right now.
Okay, so it's not about, just, the ego thing, that I can do this thing, etc. You have to be part of a community. Okay, so whether it's a mastermind, whether it's an accountability group, whether it's a networking group, etc., together we're all going to win.
Yeah, there's that saying, right? You want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go with others. And right now, we can't go fast. We can't leave the house. There's nowhere to go fast to. So we have now is the time. Now is the time where you can feed off of other people. There's so many breakthroughs going on in that accountability we have right now. Because everybody's sharing. Everybody understands that we all need that support right now.
Right. Here's another thing. Okay. I did a talk last week about, Real Estate Sales Master. We'll come back and talk about that, which is the new version of Elite Sales Master. If you remember Elite Sales Master from the days.
Which completely revolutionized my sales skills when I was first getting started. I just wanted a real quick plug. If you guys aren't like that, that's hands down taught me a lot of the format of what I do today, Chadi. So thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to endorse that real fast.
That one, bro. Yeah. All right. Anybody want information about that? Simply go to realestatesalesmastery.com. All right. So Adrian, one of the things that I said when I did that training last Friday, and I said, hey, everybody lost their freaking damn mojo. Everybody lost their mojo. This is the time to get your mojo back. Forget about business. Forget about everything right now. The number one thing you need right now is you need to get your mojo back. And here you are. I'm looking at you right now. You're full of energy. You're full of enthusiasm. You're full of certainty. And you got your game face on. And it's like, okay. So, and then, somebody that's watching right now, they're a little bit, low energy. They're a little bit slouched. They're a little bit, fearful. They're a little bit confused. There are a lot of uncertainty going on in their mind. what's your tip? 1, 2, or 3 things that every single person's got to do right now to get their freaking damn mojo back?
Yeah, first and foremost, I would say just start moving. Sometimes you can say as many affirmations as you want, but when the body is in motion, it will change your emotion. So get into motion is the first thing. Stand up, put your shoulders up straight, right? Put your hand in front of your chest. Make sure your chest is upright. Breathe differently, right? I think one of the biggest things is sometimes as we're slouched over, we're real short breath, real fast. Bring up. That's going to cause anxiety. I just got anxiety feeling that. Like, come up a little bit, own it, right? And then I would say just get into motion. Make one call. Start at one call. Start at 2 calls. Don't overcomplicate this thing, right? Complexity is the enemy of execution, as Tony says. Keep it simple and just, okay, one thing. I did one thing. Cool. Let me do another thing. Let me do another thing. And don't think that you guys are just going to hop in and do 10 things at once. That's the biggest thing that I've learned, because we all go through slumps, as they call them, right? How do we get back? By just doing one small thing. Maybe just write down what a good week you've had. What about writing down what you appreciate? Just that alone will start to change some neuro, what do they call them? Some neuro, I'm not, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you, bro. All right,
so that's my advice is just start with something.
Okay, so step number 1, get in motion. Get up and jack, take a walk, move the body, change your physiology. So that's step number 1. And then take that first action, because the hardest action is that first action. And here's the thing, if you're having a hard time thinking or fathoming the number 50 contacts, okay, screw the number 50 right now. Why don't you just start with 1?
Start with 1. Gentlemen, if you feel good doing your hair, do your hair. Take a shower. Put on a suit. Like, that'll make you feel good. Put on a suit. Ladies, get dressed. Do something. Just that alone will make you feel better. Especially if you're caught in your house, guys. I know it's very easy to just not do anything. So a good way is to act like if you were going to work.
Adrian, here's something I share with my clients. I'm not sure if you're doing this or not. Or if you've ever done this or not. You see, a lot of people have a hard time remembering, okay? And the reason they have a hard time remembering is because there's a lot of moving parts with social media and technology and the media and family and everybody at home right now and stuff like that. So it's easy for us to remember the most important thing. And I think every single person should do is they should write down, like, answer a question. And the question is, what makes me feel good? Yeah. Okay, we all know the answer. And in any moment that you don't feel good, you can just whip out your little piece of paper and there's your list of all the things that make you feel good. And then you just begin to execute on that list, one thing after another. And then all of a sudden, you got yourself in a state of feeling good. So state right now is critical, okay? And the reason being is a lot of the people that you're going to be communicating with have the wrong state of mind, and they need the person with the right state of mind to be there for them, to support them, and to lead them. I want to talk about something critically important. 6 years ago, on the video, you pulled out a check for $1 million.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. It's still got it. It's around here.
Yeah. So basically, I remember you telling us the story of, like, I think you were at the bank, and I think your banker grabbed that check for $1 million, and they asked you, "Where's that check?" And you're like, "It's in my pocket." But when you pulled out the check, because that's an exercise that we used to do way back then, there was something different on that check. Is in the memo part, you put down the words, "I believe."
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like you develop that belief system that you are going to make $1 million. And one of the things that you said about that is you said the time has not arrived yet. Like, I'm already a millionaire whose money has not yet been deposited in my bank account is another way of saying, okay. So I think 6 years later now, from seeing that check that you still got in your pocket, I think you got this close to earning $1 million, like in actual dollars. Can you speak about, can you just speak about that? What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, so, and I learned this through Matthew Ferry, right? There are things that come in contrast. And so I was real attached to this $1 million check, $1 million check, $1 million check. And as I'm getting close to it, I completely moved my business. I moved to Orange County. I talk about a disruption in everything. We got moved to business, got married, started a new brokerage, and moved to an area that we have no idea who anybody is. I'm using MapQuest. So the way I see it, but hold on, mind you, that's been a dream since I was 13 years old. Since I was 13 years old, I wanted to move to Orange County. I wanted to open an office. I wanted to be an agent in Orange County. I met my wife as she replaced, I was a real estate assistant. She came in and took over my job, and we ended up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, and now she's my wife. But anyways, when I first met her, her vision was to move to the beach also. So that was I say that because as I got close to that million and we had this huge disruption in our life and we thought it was a setback, it really was a step forward to our life. And when I look at that, that was the $1 million. I can look at the water right now. That's $1 million for me. It may not be $1 million in my bank account, but the lifestyle that we have is right there. And we're damn near close to it. It's just a matter of months before we get there. And I know that, but it came in a different contrast. And there's so many, what I've learned is you can either get attached to it or you can get very appreciative for the way that it came. And sometimes it's not in a dollar amount. Sometimes it's in this amount. It's like we're here, not in a we've arrived, because I know where shape arrived, but like we're one step closer to our dream. And Chadi, you're the one that really helped me with that, bro. I remember we spoke when the Mission Viejo, when I had the Mission Viejo office, and I shared this with you, and you just really just reaffirmed that belief, because it was very hard for me to believe that this was even possible. So I just take my hat off to you, man, because just thank you for that inner belief.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your kind words. But here's one thing I want to add to that, and I think you'll appreciate this. You'll acknowledge this, and you said this in a couple of different words earlier on. This whole entire vision of yours, this whole entire dream of yours, it was all connected to people.
Yep.
Okay, it was all connected to people. It was one person connected you to another person. That person connected you to another person, and that person connected you to another person. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is also last week in my training in Real Estate Sales Mastery, I said, this is the time to make more connections.
Right.
Okay, this is the time to make more connections. All your goals and all your dreams are connected to other people. Every single person plays a different role in your life. And you've already mentioned a lot of names earlier on. Tylian Guerrero. I mean, how much more amazing can you get, than that? Jody Raphael, Alex Lair, and the list of names goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, there are people out there who know that they got to make the connections, but they have this fear in the back of their mind is like, why would those people want to even give me the time of day? What do you say to that person? Because I want people to reach out. Sometimes people reach out to me and I reply back to them, and the first thing they say is like, I can't believe you responded.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let's give some people some advice, some tips on why they need to be, reaching out to people and connecting with people and creating a virtual environment, because we can't have like a physical environment right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and even that when you guys are by yourselves, not just this, but when we go back to regular life and you're by yourself, one thing I know is that, again, Matt, I think it was Matthew, you're the one who turned me on to the Matthew Ferry.
It's a great friend of mine. Yeah.
What is it? Millions to mastermind to millions?
Mental Journey to Millions.
Mental Journey to Millions. So in there, he talks about the understanding of not just reaching out, right? Of not just taking that step, but he also talked about coaches, and this is one thing. This is one thing to understand. Kobe Bryant had a coach, right? Yeah. Tom Brady has a coach, right? All these people have support systems. All these people have that inner circle. Who was it? Think and Grow Rich. They talk about the power of the mastermind, right? Matthew Ferry, to circle back, Matthew Ferry talks about the mind being negative prophesizing machines. Let me ask you all a question. When you're by yourself, How many negative thoughts do you have? Just you by yourself, you in a room, no one else is around you. It's just you by yourself. How many negative thoughts do you have? What are those thoughts that go through your brain? Are 99% of them positive or leading towards something? No, because there's so much of, especially right now, it's like, what is Bill Gates doing? What is this doing? What is that doing? What is that doing? So because our minds are negative prophesizing machines, and I'm getting to a point here, because our minds are negative prophesizing machines, we have to flush out that negative with 10 times more positive. So we have to be around people like you, Chadi, where we can go into the course of sales mastery and listen to it and wash out what we were. Now it's not watching the news. Now it's watching something that's productive. Now it's not listening to all of the propaganda, and it's listening to something that's growing our brain. It's spending time buying these books versus going and watching seasons of Netflix. Yes, I understand Tiger King is great. I don't care if Carol Bazzi killed her husband or not. What I care about is what's going to take me and my family to where I need to go. So therefore, I need to not pay attention to that and pay more attention to this. Pay more attention to you. Pay more attention to the sales mastery, the skill set. Where we give focus to is what we're going to not just become, but what we're going to think. And so that's why most of us are thinking about Carol Bazzi right now, right? We change it. We're going to start to think about your future, your business, your skill set, what you need to do to get better. So I didn't mean to rant on about that, but it's so big.
Good. Something we didn't talk about way back then that I want to talk about today, social media and internet presence. You're obviously all over Instagram. I see, you got a huge following on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following Adrian on Instagram, you definitely want to follow him on Instagram. He's always, everything that he's sharing, speaks to the discipline that he has and, showcasing the accountability, showcasing exactly how they're generating contracts and doing. I think you use that platform also as a form of accountability. Do you not?
Absolutely. And people hold me to it. Dude, where are you? You didn't post today. You hit it. Are you on it? Are you not on it? Social media, guys, when I was growing a brokerage, most of the agents that I recruited came from social media. My entire team right now has came from social media. The best relationships have came, now I say the best relationships, but some great relationships have came from social media. And this is the way I see it. A lot of people are for and not for social media. It's all a personal brand. You taught me this. It's a personal brand. So how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And who knows the source of who said that? I heard it from Tony, but how you do one thing is how you do everything. And with that being said, if I go onto my Instagram, I need it to show the way that I am. And it's what I'm doing. If I go onto my Facebook, same thing. Social media can help you if you use it for the right reasons. Now, if you're on there scrolling all day long, looking at shit you shouldn't be looking at, then it's going to be used in a negative way. But if you use it to inspire, if you use it to teach, if you use it to help your clients, it can be a big, big, big benefit. So.
Love it. Okay. Beautiful. And right now, we are living in a virtual world. So if you haven't got your social media branding in order, you definitely want to do that.
I'll say this about social media, guys. Somebody asked me the other day, how much money have you earned from social media? I am not, and this is not like, oh, I earned this amount. No, in any way, shape, or form. But if I can track it back, I know for a fact we've closed 3 flips just from social media. Yesterday alone, somebody that I have not been in contact with, they follow me from high school, reached out, hey dude, I love your social media. I love your work ethic. I love that you're very transparent about what you do. We need to sell. Can you help us sell? And can you help us buy a new build right down the street?
From social media.
From social media. I don't have the guy's phone number. He doesn't have my phone number. This is someone from high school. This is someone that I haven't seen since the 12th grade. But he follows me on the gram, and I'm very consistent with making sure that I'm showing people what I'm doing. And I don't show it to show off. I show it to inspire. I show it to motivate. And then even he was like, dude, I love it. I love it. I love your work ethic. Can you help us? Right. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. I don't know how many connections I've made where my wife and I are somewhere and we see somebody, and then before you know it, we connect on them on Instagram and they become a client because of the platform. So
use the platform. All right. So I think we covered enough about what's going on right now, and we covered enough about mental toughness and mental mindset strategy, etc. For me, where I think dearest to my heart, the conversation is dearest to my heart, is a lead conversion conversation, not a lead generation conversation, because I believe that every single one of us can learn a specific skill to where you can be dropped off anywhere in the world with little money. And if you have that skill, you'd be able to, make it big very quickly. And that is your ability to influence other people to do exactly what you want them to do. Okay. So the question I have for you, Adrian, is, do you consider yourself to be a salesperson?
To be a what?
A powerful salesperson.
150%. I am a powerful salesperson. It's part of my affirmations.
Do that one more time, bro.
I am a powerful salesperson. Let's go. It's part of my affirmations. It's a trigger. When I hear it, it's like a beat. It's like a lion when they see the piece of steak.
Yeah. All right. So you are a powerful. You still practice on a daily basis the art of even becoming a much more powerful salesperson.
Every single day. And you'll actually appreciate this, bro. I just got this in, and I'm diving deep on reframing. This is by Grinder. This is why, yeah. So reframing by John Grinder. You will love this, Chadi. You will absolutely love this. So yeah, to answer your question, every single day. This morning right before this call, I was on my little trip 24-hour fitness bike. I'm just going through all my business mastery notes. I'm consistently working on my skill set.
Right. I love it. And the reason I set up that question is because, one thing I want to say about social media is that just because somebody doesn't like, comment, or share, your content online, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not watching it. Because I'm about to reference something I've seen you do on social media that I don't even know if I put a like, a comment, or a share on it. Probably about a year ago, you did a little video where you talk about the power of assuming the sale. Okay. Right. Which is something that's going to fly right over the head of many people because they have no idea what that is. And you were sharing a story about like how you would pull up, you'd go inside the house and you will tell the seller, as I came into your house, I looked around and I figured out the best place to put the sign in the front yard, etc. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Can you
how
you do that? I think I want people to get that there's an art to selling. There's an art to helping people see your vision, that, the vision of you being there for their best interest.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, what's the question?
The question is, how do you do that? Like, can you walk us through what you did in that video? I don't know if you remember the video or not.
Yeah. So I focused, I learned, well, now that I didn't even realize it was a pattern interrupt, right? What I was doing was interrupting their pattern because most agents don't do this. But what I'll do, guys, is I'll walk up to the front door, right? And I'll knock on the door. And I'll be like, hey, Chadi, thank you so much for having me over. I'm excited about getting your home on the market and getting it sold, right? The script. Hey, but can you come out with me real fast? Come outside. If they don't have shoes on, yeah, put on some shoes. I'll wait. I have them walk outside with me, and I'll look in the front yard. Chadi, I know something. If we can put the sign right here, we'll get the perfect amount of exposure from this end of the street and that end of the street. So what I'm going to do is, do you mind if I use that rock to mark this spot? Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to grab the rock. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to say, great. So after we sign the contract, I'll make sure that the sign goes right here, okay? We haven't even walked inside the house. And you've heard me say, we're going to sign the contract, and the sign is going here. Okay, great. Show me the house.
I wanted you to demonstrate that to people, okay? Because that right there, what people don't understand is that during your presentation, what you're supposed to be doing is you're supposed to be speaking as if you've already taken the listing. You're speaking with conviction, you're speaking with confidence, and you're demonstrating that who you are is the best person for the job of selling your home. But here's a follow-up question to that, because some people are going to be thinking in their mind, I will never, ever do that.
Of course you will.
And you know, they're thinking that because they're like, well, the sellers might think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm curious to find out, what is the response that you are getting from sellers when you are that crazy?
They love it. They love it because no one else is willing to be that way. And then I'll bring it up. Let me ask you a question. Did the last agent go through where you're going to get the most amount of exposure from the for sale sign? Or did they just walk right in and tell you how great they were? No, they walked in and tell me how great I was. So you tell me.
Your competition.
Done.
You just eliminated your competition. Awesome.
So you know, I would always ask myself, what, and I forgot where I got this from, but what do I do that others do that I can do better? And then what can I do that no one else does that will make me great? And those are just two questions that I'm always asking myself, especially when I'm going to a listing presentation, especially if I'm looking at the stuff that they've already received.
You know what, Adrian? Those are two questions that most people will never even take the time out to answer for themselves. So I'm going to challenge every single person that's watching this video to begin to answer that question right now, right below that video. And if every single person just pitches in one response, collectively, I have the formula on how to become even greater. So make sure that you're answering those questions. Awesome. You good on time, brother?
I'm good. I'm all yours. What I was saying in regards to the me coming out and sharing the for sale sign, guys, you got, and Chadi, yeah, you were the first one who introduced me to the words are only 7% of the sales conversation. It's how we're saying it and the way that we're saying it. It's the tonality. It's the body language, right? So when I walk up and I'm walking them to the site of where the for sale sign is going, I'm confident. I'm ready to go. It's there. I'm not slouched over, and I'm not talking like this and saying, "Oh, Chadi, I'm excited, and I can't wait." And okay, let's look at the backyard. There's no certainty there. No one's going to hire that. You may get 1 out of 1,000, but you're going to get beat. So.
Right. So, somebody's looking at you right now. They're saying, I want to be a great salesperson just like Adrian. What should they do?
Take your NLP class.
What is it?
Take your NLP course.
Well, you're just plugging me like crazy. All right.
Well, it's NLP. I'm just being honest. I don't know anywhere else to go to for NLP. That's if you want to get better at your sales skills, learn embedded commands, learn how to pause, learn how to catch up on the things that people aren't catching up on, guys. Or I'm sorry, they're catching on too. Sorry. And that's going to come through learning some skills that people don't know. So I'm just being transparent. I'm not saying that if it's a plug, great, but I'm saying that because I really want people to know, guys, you got to do what other people don't do to get what other people don't have. And a lot of that is that skill set that we're talking about.
Okay. So what will acquiring that skill set ultimately do for somebody?
Well, not just in your sales, but it will help you in anything that you want to do. I know that I can go anywhere, any place, anytime, get dropped in any location and make something happen because of that skill set. I don't give a shit what I'm selling. Now, Expo markers. Let's do it.
I love it. I love it. All right. So, Adrian, you appear to be someone that has a strong belief in themselves. Now, I just want to say something, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way or a negative way or anything like that. I am super proud of who you have become and who you are becoming and the inspiration that you've become to, a lot of people in our real estate industry and beyond. Did you always have that strong belief in yourself? Because you come across as someone that totally believes in himself.
I struggle with it daily. Well, no, hold on. Watch my words. I work on it daily. I used to struggle with it. But, Chadi, I didn't believe in it was the hardest. Everybody's different. For me, believing in myself was so difficult, and I don't know why. And it may have been some past childhood stuff, but from what I uncovered. But what I know is that believing in yourself is sometimes the hardest thing to do. And sometimes you need somebody who can, as I said at the beginning of the call, you need somebody who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Sometimes you need somebody and I will never forget this, when Chadi walked up to me and said, "There's $1 million you in you." Joe D. Raffaelli said, "If you were a stock, I would bet on it." Those things, those two things that other people told me, they planted a seed in my mind that, Yes, I have to work on it daily, as everybody does, as everything, but it planted a seed that really helped shape and change that belief. And then you recommended a book called The Magic of Believing by Claudio Bistro, still one of in my top 5, forever will be. That completely altered this form of thinking planted by your seeds, and it was a garden. It just, now I got to trim it and maintain it, but it's there.
Right. So somebody out there is saying to themselves, I want to believe more in me. Where should they begin to develop this strong belief system? Because I remember you said it differently, and I went back and listened to the whole entire recording from 2014, and I took a little bit of notes on that. You said, Chadi, there's a big difference between thinking you can do it and believing you can.
Absolutely.
So how does one develop that belief, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, guys, it's growing through it. It's establishing that belief as you go through it. You're not going to establish the belief until you actually go do it. And when you start to do it, you'll get a little taste of it, and that's going to spark some more belief. You'll win in some areas, and it'll spark some more belief. And some other things are just falling in love with little wins. So like creating a morning routine. I woke up at 4:30. That's a win. Okay, what's the next one? Mindset, write in your journal. Okay, boom, I wrote in my journal. That alone is going to start to stack these little beliefs that, okay, if I can do this, I can do this. And if I can do this, I can do this. And it's what's called the stacking process in NLP, right? The stacking process. You start to stack it, and before you know it, you close a sale, it solidifies that stack, and you're like, oh, I got this, right? Then the problem is from there, understanding how to control it. Another conversation. But those are some steps that you can take to get there.
Yeah. All right. So basically, focus on the little wins, okay? Because how you develop belief is you need evidence. You need evidence. Okay. So start by setting yourself up, with the things that you know that if you could actually push yourself through. And then once you do, you'll be like, oh, well, that was easy. It was easier than I made it out to be in my mind. So that would be like, step 1 in beginning to believe. And then push that a little bit further and push that a little bit further. But here's another thing I want to encourage every single person to do on top of what you said. I think what they need to do is they need to start documenting their wins.
Ooh, yep. Strong.
So, a part of your journal, okay? And I recommend that be like the last 5 pages of your journal. Every time you have a little victory, it doesn't matter, big or small, any kind of victory, what I want you to do is on the left-hand side, just put a date. So today would be what, 4/7/20. Okay, today's the 7th, right? Something like that. Okay, 4/7/20, when? So now what happens is in any moment that you begin to doubt yourself, all you got to do is just go back to your journal, and then there's 15, 20 victories, evidence, proof that who you are is better than who you are thinking you are in this little moment of doubt. And all of a sudden, your belief is back, everything is renewed, and you're back on track. Adrian, is there a question that I should have asked you today that I did not ask you? That I could ask you?
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just skill set. I think if I can look at anything for newer agents, if you're looking to also improve your confidence, if you're looking to improve everything we've spoke about, start to understand the importance of your skill set. Because when you start to hear yourself speak in a way that you've never spoken, or you start to use these things that you learn and they work, that right there will start to boost some confidence. It's not sometimes a paycheck, guys. Sometimes it's, as we've been talking about, those little wins, but it's also, you'll hear yourself talking, you'll go, oh shit, who was that? Right? Or somebody, or your mom, or your girlfriend, or somebody will hear you and be like, oh dude, right on. And that alone, you'll be like, oh, okay. It's just like a little ego boost, right? So yeah. And then you guys, it's important to control the ego, right? The ego is not your amigo, as you've heard. There's another form of edging God out, right? When that ego starts to get big, I think that's when you're in trouble. I've been there. I think we all go there. Just try to find coaches, an accountability group, people that can help you get back to where you need to go.
Perfect. With that said, Adrian, one of the things that I'm doing for the month of April, And I just decided to do this today since, I have a little bit more time. Everybody's got a little bit more time. Everybody's stuck at home. I'm actually making myself available to do as many complimentary free coaching calls for the month of April as I possibly can. So if anybody out there just needs someone to speak to, just get advice with no sales pitch, no obligation to sign up for any of my courses or anything like that, just give me the opportunity to help you out. Simply go to tlastrategycall.com. Take the time to speak with me, and I'd love the opportunity to help you out. Now, you said ego. Your ego is not your amigo. You said edging God out. I just want to add one more acronym to that. And ego stands for, the acronyms for that is eliminating growth opportunities.
Ooh, that's good.
Opportunities. So if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to take advantage of all the opportunities that exist right now and are coming up real soon, the one thing that you got to do is you got to put your ego to the side. You got to put your pride to the side, and you got to become a student of the game and a leader to the students who are following your lead. So Adrian, again, just one more time. I know somebody out there either has a flip, you do real estate investing. Do you do it all over the country or just primarily in California? If somebody's got a flip for you or an investment property for you?
Yeah, so pretty much 4 different states: California, Ohio, Texas, Arizona. If you guys get anything in those states, let us know. I know we can for sure either. We're really not going out of state right now till we understand what happens, but we do have investors. I'll close on it right away.
Terrific. Okay. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you because they have a flip, or to send you a referral, or to just connect with you, what's the best way to get a hold of Adrian?
Yeah, so you guys can find me on the gram. My handle is @Adrian Hernandez. Find me on YouTube, Adrian Hernandez. For my email, real simple, adrian@adrianhernandez.com. So if you guys have any inquiries, let me know. If you guys also just want to chat about like the struggles I went through, feel free to let me know. And I do want to say one thing. If you guys haven't picked up the book Shift by Gary Keller, please read the book Shift by Gary Keller. Right now, we're going through a shift in the market, and Gary Keller talks about everything that we have to do as an industry, as a real estate professional, whether it's real estate lending, fine, it doesn't matter what you're in. Pick up the book, guys, because there's a lot of really, really, really good nuggets that we can use right now in our industry. And one thing he said that stood out to me today is those that are disciplined in prospecting, and finding new business every single day, those are the ones that are going to win in this market. The ones that do it every once in a while, they'll get paid. They'll make a good living when the market's hot. But if you're going to do it every once in a while in a shift, you will be caught with your pants down when the tide goes away, as Warren Buffett says. So please do yourself a favor, guys. Whatever lead generation you do, stick to it. Stick to it every single day, Monday through Friday. Carve out 3 or 4 hours in your schedule. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. I'm asking you to set your business up so 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now, you have some paychecks coming in and you're not like, oh shit, why didn't I do anything? So right. that was the biggest takeaway for me this morning. I heard it and I'm like, yes.
Advice, Adrian, and the thing that stuck out from me, for me there was, it don't matter what lead generation systems you do, because at the end of the day, there is no wrong or right way to generate a lead because all checks cash the same. So I was asking the question, what, in your opinion right now, what are the 2 best ways to generate business?
My opinion, get on the phones. That's my opinion. Pick up the phone. Reach out to people. Call them. If you're scared of calling them, text them. Send them a direct message on Facebook. Send them a direct message on Instagram. I say it in that tonality and that body language because you all have the power to pick up this phone and make those lead generation options 10 times more powerful. This thing will make you a couple of $1 million if you use it.
Yep. I got a client of mine. She said, how much do you think my phone is worth? And I'm looking at it and it's an iPhone. I said, I don't know. It's probably worth it's used probably about $600-700. She goes, no, I can sell this phone for $500,000 with the contacts in it that she generated, from picking up the phone and, creating contacts all over the country and stuff like that. Now, you said something very important. You said, if you're scared to make the calls, text. I have a client I work with, and that's exactly what she did last Friday. Is she texted and texted and texted and texted and texted, and she got some good responses, not so good responses. You know how it is when you prospect.
Right.
And guess what? She sends me a message yesterday because she ended up setting 5 appointments in one day. And her exact words, I can't believe I just took a listing without meeting the seller and seeing the property.
Those are the best. Those are the best.
If she didn't pick up the phone and do those text messages, she couldn't get herself to make the phone calls, but she got herself to do the text messages and took a listing without seeing the seller and without seeing the property. So basically, just get your freaking damn butt to work and do your freaking damn job.
Do something. If you send Facebook messages all day, it's going to happen.
Exactly. So you just got to put yourself out there. I just want to say, man, publicly, I've seen you from the beginning to see who you are right now. I am super, super, super proud of you. I am, I think the biggest thing that I love about what you've done is not so much that you just have become, the person who can make the money, but you've become an inspiration to other people and a man of contribution that's just opening up the books and revealing to everyone, here's exactly the way I'm doing it, and here's the way that you can do it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about contribution and giving back.
That's it. That's it. I went to Date with Destiny with Tony, and that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. He goes, when it's about money, you've lost. When it's about money, you've lost. When you make it about the people, that's when things start to change. So I want to encourage all of you. There's a lot of times that we look at like the cars, we look at the watches, we look at the houses. That's all great, guys. It really is. And this is even me saying this because I love that shit, right? Just full transparency. But unless it's about helping others, guys, I don't care how many units you have. I don't care how much money you have. If you're not contributing and giving back what was once given to you, just leave it at that. So
love it. I appreciate you taking the time out to spend an hour of your time with us today. I know you got 25 more contacts to go today in the world. You got to get back in the phones. Thank you very much. Teacher, and we'll continue. Hopefully we'll get you on again sometime in the near future. Take care, buddy.
Thank you so much, brother. Take care.